Now, I would like you guys to pay attention to the video. Forget the one that's right next to me here. The one that's on the far right. Okay? It'll be the far left for me, the right for you, whatever. The one on that side. Okay?
What are you trying to say?
The one that my right hand is pointing towards. Okay?
You're not saying I'm far right and you're far left.
No. Because then you'd be far left. And I'd be, because I'm on the right. True. Anyway.
We're both moderates, by the way.
Yes. I'm more conservatively leaning, maybe.
I don't know. Maybe
it doesn't matter.
Definitely not socially. I'm Catholic. Anyway, continue.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I can eat meat or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah. So
I'm meat free today.
Yeah. So guys, take a look at the one with the mattresses, because it's important what the guy says. Okay. 我想靠到左边睡，2个人一个床垫啊。2 people per mattress.
Yes. I mean, this is the working conditions at the team. And you notice these are young people. Yeah, these are young people that are not country bumpkins. We know a country bumpkin when we see one. We've been literally on hand-built motorcycles across the entire country.
Exactly.
Tens and tens of thousands of kilometers. Yes. We've seen everything. These are young, unemployed people working on tea plantations.
And what he said next was, another busload is about to arrive. That's why he's like, okay, 2 people per mattress, because another busload of workers are arriving soon.
So make space.
Yeah. Can you imagine having to sleep 2 people to a mattress in those kind of conditions in what looks like a corrugated iron shed?
This is the current condition.
You do realize, by the way, if you look at these corrugated iron sheds, okay, there's no insulation.
Tea plantations are in the hottest parts of China.
Yeah, it's
some of the hottest parts.
Exactly, and it just depends on the season. You're either going to be freezing or you're going to be boiling.
It could be wicked cold or wicked hot.
But I guess you got the body warmth of the person stuck next to you like a sardine.
Yeah, and these bed bug mattresses.
The thing is that the reason to even show this is the conditions of people in China right now. The conditions to work are definitely getting worse.
Young people with degrees.
Yeah.
You know, you got master's degrees people coming out.
Yeah.
And they're making $100 take home a month.
Yeah.
In some of these professional positions.
It's quite disappointing. It's terrible. And the fact that they're blustering about these tariffs, you know, before we continue, I just have to reiterate, because I know a lot of people in China, and know a lot of people who have office jobs, and I know a lot of people who work in factories.
Yes.
And the amount of people that are going to lose their jobs is staggering. Absolutely staggering. Because China cannot, the majority of the stuff that gets shipped out ends up in America.
Yep.
Okay? Quite seriously. The majority of stuff that they're making, all these gadgets and gizmos and little fixtures and stuff.
Out of their percentage of exports. Yeah, for them, yeah.
I mean, it ends up in Home Depot, or it ends up on Amazon, or it ends up in whatever shop. Those factories that are making all this stuff employ so many people. And when the demand goes away, the factories are going to have to shut down or scale back massively.
Yes.
They cannot afford it. It's going to affect so many people's lives. It's actually devastating when you think about it.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
And it's not that's not a joke. It's actually going to be devastating.
Yeah, and they can bluster all they want and say, we don't need America, or we can stand by ourselves. But that's not true. Without the American public buying all this tat all the time, which I'm against that stuff. I don't need cheap rubbish Christmas decorations.
I made a video literally about that exact thing that will probably be out tomorrow.
Right.
Check it out.
But at the same time, those cheap, crappy Christmas decorations that you use for one season and probably never again because they're not great, they are supplying jobs to countless people in China, tens of millions of people to make this tat. And it's just horrible that it's going to go away overnight, because families are going to be affected. The whole country is going to be affected. And you know what? It's avoidable.
It was all played by the rules.
If the Chinese government weren't such blustering wankers, if they didn't care about face that much, they would really be able to spare the lives of the Chinese people. Now, in China, they're putting out all these mocking AI, videos of fat Americans like making Nike shoes or whatever, and they're all ha-ha about it, but it's not going to be ha-ha.
It's not funny to the factory workers.
No.
The 100 million factory workers.
Exactly. Because, you can make fun of it all you want, but all you're doing is hurting your own people.
Yeah, for face.
Yeah.
That's the thing, is this was avoidable not because of, I don't even want to bring up the Trump trade war thing. This was avoidable from decades ago when you entered into the WTO.
If you stuck to the rules.
If you stuck to the rules like the rest of the world and traded with everyone, you could be a prosperous, rule-abiding country that offered freedom to your citizens.
Yeah, but they're sneaky.
Yeah, because it's the
deceitful.
Communist Party of China. They cannot operate with a rules-based system. They just can't
they break
do it.
the rules. You know, rules for thee, but not for me.
CCP is a disgusting, despicable dictatorship that pretends to be something it's not.
Yeah, it's the same people that were in charge of the Tiananmen Square massacre.
Yep.
It's the same people that annexed Tibet.
Yep.
It's the same people that caused millions and millions of people to starve to death. It's the same people that have polluted the world, destroyed the seas, outfished the seas.
You want to see something scary?
Yes.
This is everywhere.
In the Beijing airport.
The Beijing airport.
Now, usually you have adverts up there for like Wang Laoji or something, you know, or Coca-Cola
or watches. Or
some
Seagull
whatever.
Watches.
Yeah, seagull watches, because that's what you want in your life.
Chivas Royale.
Yes, that's right.
Hennessy.
Vsop, you know?
Vsop Hennessy.
Yeah. Yes.
That's what you'd see.
But now they've been replaced
Sept
with...
wolves.
Yeah, Sept wolf socks and cigarettes, yeah. They have been replaced with these messages, which says, unify and defend national sovereignty and mainland national unity.
No pun intended. Reading the tea leaves is very important for this episode. And again, if you're watching this and you kind of want to read on where China's going, the fact that they're posting Mao overtly with like war threats, and now the Beijing airport, and this is the face of the world, is the Beijing airport, right?
Yeah.
Is putting up basically preparation for war propaganda.
Yes. Yeah. Unification propaganda.
Based on what we're seeing right now, particularly like if you go Google something later, look up how barges are going to make the invasion much easier for China.
Yeah, of Taiwan.
There's a lot of things that really, really are building up to the precursors of war.
Yeah.
And probably an invasion of Taiwan. And I think our timeline is much sooner than we previously had thought.
Yes.
Everyone. I think everyone's like kind of looking at it now like sooner than later now, probably.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking in a couple of years, maybe 2 years, and I'm thinking maybe a couple months.
I was thinking 2 to 5 years if it was going to happen. Right?
Again, it's always too difficult, and I've never wanted to put a timeline on this, and I've never wanted to be like, you know, it's actually going to happen.
We
because
still won't.
They always kick the can.
Yes,
they always like renege.
It's looking very creepy right now.
But I'm a little bit concerned because of the current rhetoric.
Yeah.
Because of the current trade war. Yeah. I really do think China's being backed into a corner of their own making.
Yeah.
You know, they've done it to themselves.
Yeah.
But now they're like, might lash out. They might actually do something foolish.
Yeah.
You know? And it'll be all their fault.
Yeah.
It'll be the Chinese government's fault.
It's true.
If something does kick off.
Yeah.
And it's just unfortunate. Let's hope it doesn't get to that point.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not good to see this kind of rhetoric going around. By the way, can I just say, and you can back me up on this.
Bollards, dude.
Yeah, I know. When you're in China, isn't it so freaking insulting how you see these ads and stuff that basically paint the outside world as an enemy?
Yeah.
You know, they actually have like recruitment ads and stuff where they're like, we're going to fight America, that type things in your face all the time.
Yeah.
But then to the outside world, they're like, oh, it's racist if you say the COVID-19 came from Wuhan.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Doesn't it piss you off?
Is that not an analogy for what I just said?
Yeah.
What they put out is very different than what's inside.
Correct.
Yeah.
I remember you lift my spirit. With you high is all I'm feeling. Remember.
Who goes in here with hairy, long, bushy animals, sees a whole ass bird that you'd see on a power line and goes, how much for that one, please?
I want the bird, feathers and all.
Garbage juice and bleach and fish. You've never put something so big in your mouth that you're
No, I haven't.
My claim was that I actually saw the Easter Bunny.
It was somewhat misrepresented because I think the whole world thought that Chinese people just eat bats.
And they don't.
But they do.
If you had to pick one person you'd screw over to save yourself, who's catching that bus and why?